The wind howled across the dry Texas plains in 1846, and with it came the spark that would change North America forever. It began with a question that refused to stay quiet. Where does Texas end, and where does Mexico begin? After Texas declared independence from Mexico and later joined the United States, tension turned into something far more dangerous. Both sides claimed the land between the Nueces River and the Rio Grande. But claims don't stay words for long, not when armies start marching. Then it happened. Shots rang out near the Rio Grande. American blood spilled onto disputed soil. News raced to Washington, where President James K. Polk didn't hesitate. To him, this wasn't just a border conflict, it was destiny. The United States declared war on Mexico, igniting a conflict that would stretch from dusty deserts to fortified cities. But this war wasn't just about land. It was about ambition, power, and a belief called manifest destiny, the idea that the United States was meant to expand from coast to coast. And so, the invasion began. American forces pushed south into Mexico, led by generals like Zachary Taylor, who clashed with Mexican troops in brutal battles. Cannon smoke filled the air as soldiers fought under scorching sun and choking dust. Every inch of land was paid for in blood. But the real shock came from the west. Thousands of miles away, American settlers and soldiers moved into California, then still part of Mexico. In a bold and almost surreal moment, a group of rebels raised a makeshift flag, a bear crudely drawn, and declared the short-lived Bear Flag Republic. California was slipping away from Mexico's grasp. At sea, American naval forces tightened their hold, capturing key coastal cities. Mexico was being attacked from multiple directions, stretched thin, and struggling to defend its vast territory. Then came the most daring move of all. General Winfield Scott launched an unprecedented amphibious invasion at Veracruz. It was one of the first major operations of its kind, ships, troops, and artillery storming the shores in a coordinated assault. From there, Scott marched inland toward the heart of Mexico. The road to Mexico City was a nightmare. Fierce battles erupted at places like Cerro Gordo and Chapultepec. Soldiers fought through rugged terrain, fortified defenses, and relentless resistance. Young cadets, barely more than boys, stood their ground at Chapultepec Castle, becoming legends in Mexican history. But determination and firepower pushed the American army forward. In September 1847, Mexico City fell. The capital was occupied. The war, for all intents and purposes, was over. But its consequences were just beginning. In 1848, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo was signed. Mexico was forced to give up an enormous portion of its land, what would become California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and parts of several other states. Nearly half of Mexico's territory gone. For the United States, it was a massive expansion, a dream fulfilled. For Mexico, it was a devastating loss. And for the people living on that land, Mexicans, Native Americans, settlers, it meant their lives would never be the same again. Borders shifted overnight, but identities didn't. Cultures collided, blended, and sometimes clashed in ways that still echo today. The Mexican-American War wasn't just a conflict of armies. It was a turning point, a moment where ambition reshaped geography, and where the map we recognize today was carved out through fire and sacrifice. Because in the end, this wasn't just a war between two nations. It was a war that decided the future of an entire continent.